Descartes' skepticism and theology might initially appear to be in conflict, given that skepticism often questions the very foundations upon which theological beliefs are built. However, a deeper exploration reveals that Descartes' philosophical approach can, in fact, harmonize with theological principles, particularly within the context of Christian thought. This harmony arises from the way Descartes employs skepticism as a methodological tool rather than an end in itself, ultimately leading to a reaffirmation of certain theological truths. Descartes, a French philosopher and mathematician, is well known for his method of radical doubt. In his seminal work, Meditations on First Philosophy, he systematically doubts everything that can possibly be doubted. This includes the evidence of the senses, the existence of the physical world, and even mathematical truths. Descartes' goal in employing this radical skepticism is to strip away all uncertain beliefs, leaving only those that are absolutely certain. This process is not meant to lead to perpetual doubt, but to establish a firm foundation for knowledge. Descartes' skepticism begins with the famous assertion cogito, ergo sum, or I think, therefore I am. This statement becomes the foundational certainty that survives his method of doubt. From this indubitable truth, Descartes seeks to rebuild knowledge. He extends this foundational certainty to the existence of a benevolent God, arguing that the very idea of a perfect being must have been placed in his mind by such a being itself, rather than being the product of his own imperfect mind. This line of reasoning is crucial for Descartes, as it helps to secure the possibility of certain knowledge against the backdrop of his initial skepticism. The reconciliation of Descartes' skepticism with theology is rooted in several key aspects of his philosophy. Firstly, Descartes' skepticism is methodical and provisional. He uses doubt as a tool to clear the ground for certain knowledge rather than to foster perpetual uncertainty. In doing so, he paves the way for a reaffirmation of the existence of God and the soul, which are central tenets of Christian theology. By establishing the certainty of his own existence and the existence of God, Descartes sets the stage for a secure foundation upon which other truths can be built, including those of a theological nature. Secondly, Descartes' argument for the existence of God serves to overcome the potential pitfalls of skepticism. He reasons that a benevolent God would not deceive him about the existence of an external world and the reliability of clear and distinct perceptions. This line of thought aligns with theological perspectives that view God as a guarantor of truth and the orderliness of creation. In this way, Descartes' philosophy does not undermine theological beliefs but instead seeks to provide them with a firmer epistemological foundation. Furthermore, Descartes' notion of the natural light of reason, which he equates with the God-given ability to discern truth, reinforces the compatibility between his skepticism and theology. He posits that the faculty of reason is a divine gift that, when used properly, can lead to the discovery of truths about the world and about God. This perspective resonates with the theological view that human reason, while limited, is capable of accessing divine truths through reflection and rational inquiry. Another significant aspect of Descartes' thought that harmonizes with theology is his dualism, the distinction he draws between mind and body. Descartes argues for the real distinction between the thinking substance and the extended substance. And this dualism supports theological doctrines concerning the immortality of the soul and the afterlife. By maintaining that the mind is distinct from the body and capable of existing independently, Descartes' philosophy aligns with theological assertions about the soul's eternal nature and its relationship with God. Descartes' emphasis on the certainty of self-awareness and the existence of God also addresses the problem of skepticism regarding the external world and other minds. His philosophical framework suggests that once the existence of a non-deceptive God is established, confidence in the reality of the external world and other rational beings can be restored. This restoration of trust in the external world has theological implications, reinforcing the belief in a created order that is intelligible and good, reflecting the nature of its creator. Moreover, Descartes' approach can be seen as an attempt to bridge the gap between faith and reason, a significant theme in theological discourse. By using reason to arrive at fundamental truths that support the existence of God, Descartes demonstrates that faith in God and rational inquiry are not mutually exclusive but can complement and reinforce each other. This synthesis of faith and reason echoes theological traditions that emphasize the compatibility and mutual enrichment of these two modes of understanding. Critically, Descartes' philosophy does not claim to provide a complete theological system. Rather, it offers a methodological foundation that supports and is consistent with certain theological principles. His work invites further theological reflection and development, providing a philosophical groundwork upon which more elaborate theological constructs can be built. This openness to further inquiry and synthesis underscores the potential for Descartes' thought to harmonize with and enrich theological perspectives. In conclusion, Descartes' skepticism, when understood as a methodological tool, can harmonize with theology by providing a secure foundation for knowledge that includes theological truths. His arguments for the certainty of self-awareness and the existence of God offer a rational basis for beliefs that are central to Christian theology. By emphasizing the divine origin of reason and the trustworthiness of clear and distinct perceptions guaranteed by a benevolent God, Descartes bridges the gap between faith and reason. His dualism supports theological doctrines concerning the soul, and his overall approach encourages a synthesis of philosophical and theological inquiry. Thus, Descartes' skepticism, far from undermining theology, can be seen as a means to reinforce and rationally support theological beliefs, fostering a harmonious relationship between reason and faith.